Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's Adventures with Peps. Today we are painting another WePrint miniature figure. This time it's from the Barry McGuffin range, and it's the cyborg with a shotgun. Now, he does look like a certain movie personality, but we're obviously not going to say that too much. Photos at the beginning will tell you where my inspiration is coming from. He is a cyborg from a future war made by Papsikels, or Papsikels. I'm not sure how you pronounce that actually now that I've said it. And yeah, he's looking battle weary, his face is a bit ruined. We obviously start by priming him black and giving him a good old dry brushing. I grabbed the Recklin Flesh Shade, if I can get my words out, and start hitting up what little bit of skin is still on the model. This involves hitting up the hand and the face. Now, I'm going to drop a link to this model that takes you to the website. But you will see they've slightly changed the design. He now has a Colonial Marines rifle. I'm looking at the picture right now. And an eye patch. So maybe he was too close to the source material and they've had to change up a few bits. But he looks like the perfect 80s sci-fi hero. And he is well worth adding. I'm thinking of using him in my Judge Dredd games as a vigilante. I'm going to have to check out the rules and see if that will work. Otherwise, he's going to probably be a gang of stats for him, make him a bit tougher. Maybe he's an ex-judge that's gone a little bit rogue. With the flesh tones drying, we move on to dark wood. We are going to use that on his boots, his hair, and his belt buckles. This is a silly dark model. I'm trying to make him look movie accurate, and sadly he wears a lot of black leather and a dark grey t-shirt, so this is going to look very dark in the final. Hopefully we'll pick it all up on our process as we're painting it. I am using the Army Painter speed paints from now on. I just used the Recklin Flesh from Games Workshop for his skin. I prefer the tone that that's given me. And here you can see I'm just catching his hair. All in all, this took, I'm trying to think, 13 minutes to paint. It was very quick. I am literally using what we got. We got flesh shade, a dark brown, a black, a dark grey, a light grey, and a dab of red. So there's really not a lot to this model. It is very quick, very easy. I do highly recommend checking out the website. There's links below. I do get a kickback. I'm not going to hide that from you. So anything you do buy will help support me buy more figures. So I appreciate that. Otherwise, if you're looking around in the comments, you might as well hit that like, subscribe buttons and all that good stuff. And I don't have to mention it again during this video. Right. This is a fiddly long-winded part, getting these belt buckles and trying to avoid his ammo that he has on him. So we will step forward in the timeline. The next step on the model is going to be completely underappreciated unless you're holding it in your hand and looking very close. But I'm using Gravelord Grey on his trousers and his t-shirt. I don't 100% know what I'm thinking right now. In my head, I thought it'd be lighter than black. But now that I've got the finished model in my hand, there is a subtle shade difference, but it's very small. I could have probably just done black across the entire model. I'm not entirely sure it's going to pick up in the photos. We'll see in a minute, but I did try to give him some tonal depth. So yeah, grabbing his trousers and his t-shirt with the Gravelord Grey. I don't know, in my head I thought it might be a bit brighter, but it's really not. We're talking like minuscule amount of difference. It's quite comical in the end. When you see the final photo, you'll understand what I'm getting at. With the darker grey now drying on the model, I thought I'd move away from those areas, and so I grabbed the runic grey, which by now you should all know I use that to represent my metallic metals. I'm going to get his cyborg hand, his face on the other side, and also the pistol that he's holding. It's so weird that the model now has been changed. I'm wondering if somebody reached out and was like, you can't do that. It's too close to the original material. Because the new version, he has a colonial rifle and the eye patch, which he still looks pretty cool, don't get me wrong, but it seems like a weird choice change. Very strange. But yeah, nice easy step. This runic grey I love using. It gives me the metal look that I'm looking for every time. It's also a nice light colour, so it's going to pop from the model when it's finished. And like that, we're almost finished. I then grab the grim black and I just cover this biker jacket in it. It's at this stage that I'm starting to realise that the dark grey is as dark as the black. It's maybe got a bit more warmth to it, but oh well. This is definitely a dark model. I'm sure I could maybe at a later date give it some highlights, make some colour differences, make it stand out all a bit more, but there's no real need. It's Barry McGuffins, hilarious, McGuffins. He is the Terminator of the far future. I'm using it. We know who this model's meant to be. But yeah, it's such a dark model. I'm surprised myself. There is no brightness to this at all. He's going to be pretty terrifying in my Judge Dredd games, which is where I'm going to be using him. Because he's going to look too real world. This is almost a grim dark paint scheme for me. Just got to grab this last arm with the paint job, and then we'll let it dry for a minute. And I think all that's left to do is a little red dot on his eye. So I've grabbed my smallest brush that I can find at the moment, using the blood red army painter, very quick dab to get it done. And I think we are finished. I'm going to drop some photos. You can have a look at the model. As you can tell in this video, it's super dark. I'm not entirely sure how well I'm going to be able to photograph this, but I hope you enjoyed. Hope you are interested in looking up this model from Wargaming Miniatures, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers for hitting that subscribe button. Bye bye.